Hi, folks, and welcome back to episode 10 of Unleashing Your Infinite Possibilities. My name is Donna Martin, and as always, we begin each episode setting the intention. Just invite yourself, be curious, allow yourself to be open minded, drop the judgment, go from neutral, and just be open minded and say, meh, okay, what's Donna going to chat about today? What resonates with you? Because it's inviting you to get curious about yourself, your amazing, unique, phenomenal, incredible self, how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself, and how you view the world around us. Because your lens, your view, your beliefs, your ideas are translating and co creating with the universal energy everything that you currently have. And I want you to really think about that. If this is the truth, if science, quantum physics has told us that we are all operating in this energetic field, we are attracting like for like energies. This is science, this is fact, this is backed up by years and years of experiments, experience, translations. How does this actually translate into your world? How does this impact you, affect you? Why does this even matter? And in today's topic, I'm talking about the consequences of not being you. And what I mean by that is when you're not you, when you're not giving yourself permission to step into your greatness, to listen to that inner voice, that one that comes from your heart, that's whispering, that's guiding you, that's pleading with you at times. That's the way mine was pleading with me at times. Donna, please pay attention, sit up and notice, take the action, do the work, and you will be rewarded. You will live the life that you're desiring to live, that you're calling out for in the dead of night. This is what happens, folks. But the consequences of not stepping into your greatness, I want you to think about what that looks like today and see the actual contrast for yourself. Like, grab a pen and paper, write this down. If you're listening to it in the car or grabbing a coffee, share it with a friend. If you know someone that always procrastinates, that people pleases, that's always hoping and wishing, fingers and toes and everything crossed for a better day, for a better tomorrow, for a better world, for a better life. Because this is the thing, folks. When we talk about energy, when we talk about quantum physics, we are all energetic beings. This energy, this bag of bones, you feel me moving, you feel it bouncing, you feel energy. You can feel my vibration, whether you are listening to the YouTube version of this, where you're looking at the video of me and seeing the expressions and the light in my eyes, or whether you're just listening with your ears but picking up on the energy. You're elevating up to the energy because we are matching vibrationally. If this is connecting with you, it's connecting with you for a reason. So pay attention and start asking yourself some of these questions. This is why I do the podcast. It's inviting you to get curious. So curious about you and curious about what happens. So say, what happens if you don't step into your greatness? And what I mean by that is, what happens if you stay in a job too long because in your view, in your physical, logical head, and in your eyesight, and in your looking at your bank balance and looking at your immediate circle, you're going, I have to stay here. I have to do that. There's a certain money point cap ceiling that I'm earning now, and this translates into my car payment, my mortgage payment, my holidays, my funds, my credit card, whatever else I owe for my kids, for tuition, for the lifestyle, for whatever it is. And no matter where you are in your space, earning money is just a logical thing because it's a base point that all humans can relate to. So that's why I speak in terms of this. But the thing is, when you look at the consequences of doing something just for a return, for like a financial gain, ask yourself, is it making you happy? Ask yourself, is what you're doing for the financial return, or even liken it to a relationship? Have you been in a relationship too long? Have you known for quite a while that it's not the relationship for you, that the person doesn't elevate with you, that they're not aligned with your values, that you no longer share common interests, that they don't light you up, that they don't fill you with joy, that who you are being with them is sucking the life out of you, as opposed to you being in your flow, you being in the love and the joy, because relationships aren't binding. They're not there. You're not there to serve someone and they're there to serve you, and you're there to suck the life out of each other. You're there to bring different counterparts to be in an aligned action because you want to. And it's about, I believe, relationships. Yes, we all go through our tough times. I've been married nearly 11 years, and we definitely do. But it's about reassessing and asking yourself the question, is this still right for me? Are we growing together? Are we expanding together? Are we going completely opposite directions here? And now you can liken this to whatever is going on in your world right now. Look at your current scenario. Look at your current story. Look that you're telling yourself. The one that has this feeling here in your heart and on the pit of your stomach where you're just like, oh, what am I going to do now? How I'm hoping and wishing that things will change. I'm trying everything and anything. This can even be related to your business, to what you're doing. It can be related to so many different things in your life. But it's about asking yourself, what are the consequences of continuing to do what you're currently doing? If it is not filling you with joy, if it is not elevating you, if it is not growing you, expanding you, if it is keeping you in the basket of this is really hard and really tough and it's not bringing me joy and I feel horrible. Because when we think of the energetics of quantum physics and the science that has backed up to say that, yes, we are all energy, we are all consistently moving, and we attract like for like energies, like for like frequencies. Talk about a radio station, we match and attract other like for like energies, people, opportunities, results based on our current story loop, our current most dominant emotional imprint. So I want you to ask yourself, what are the consequences of not being you? What are the consequences of not stepping into your greatness, of not paying attention to that inner voice, which, by the way, I believe is your soul? We have a soul because we are this spiritual being made of this energy, having this soul thoughts coming to and through us all the time. But we have a choice whether we listen or whether we let the mechanics, the physical bag of bones that we're in, the mechanical thing that's here to do the action, whether we allow the action body to take over and be harnessed by the mechanics of our mind. So whether consciously we think on a surface level to say that happened and that happened and that happened and equal that last time. So I'm going to stay in this fear and I'm going to stay in this lack and I'm going to stay in this limitation, or I'm going to stay in this comfort zone because I'm good here and I'm not moving out of this, even though something is calling me to grow myself, to move, to go to another level for me. I'm going to stay in this fear factor because that's consciously, I'm here in the fight or flight, and my conscious part of me is here to keep me safe. But really, when you understand the mechanics of your mind and you understand that our subconscious, it stores all our data, all our information, it's also mechanical. It doesn't know the truth, the difference between a truth, a joke, or a lie. It only feeds on the most dominant energy. So whatever energy you're in, if it's sadness, if it's joy, if it's abundance, if it's fear, if it's lack, you can only focus on one energy at a time. So it's whatever your most dominant energy, your most dominant replay, because we think in pictures. Are you following this? This is what we are doing and telling ourselves every day. So what are you doing and telling yourself every day that is stopping you from shining your light, that is maybe not allowing you to express yourself to your fullest, that is maybe not allowing you to speak up, to allow your voice, your opinions to be heard? This could be in the boardroom, this could be in your own business, this could be as an employee, this could be in your home, this could be with family dynamics and friendships and relationships. This applies to absolutely everything. But do you see who the common denominator is? It's you. I'm the common denominator for all the results that I'm calling into my life. And you're the common denominator for all the results that you're carrying into your life. Only you know in the dead of night when you're lying awake looking up at the ceiling going, why am I on this? Why has this happened? Why does this keep showing up? Why does this thing keep repeating itself? or how am I going to move forward from this, or how am I going to expand out of this? Or I'll just stay in the fear because I am too afraid because I get burned so many times. I hear you. I had 3 huge emotional impacts before I finally said, you know what, actually, enough is enough. And if there's that many people around the world, and this material is not magic, but it's actual, backed by science, backed by theology, but it's hundreds of years old and it works. If people have made it work or telling me that it works, then I'm going to actually do it for myself. So I invite you to do the same. But sometimes we have to see the contrast and actually say, well, what's the consequences of not being me? Of not speaking my truth, of not owning my ideas, of not taking action on something, of staying small, of playing small, of not being me. For me, that translated into feeling really sick, having low self-esteem, low self-worth, lacking confidence, not being able to speak up, to be seen, to be heard, because I didn't value me. And I felt horrible. I've been through depression before, and oh my God, like that feeling of not being enough and never being okay in this world is, oh my God, not one that any of us should have to experience. It was an experience for me. But a lot of that translated from a consequence of me not allowing myself to be me because I didn't even know what that translated into. I didn't know how my mind operated. I didn't know how my body operated. I didn't know that I had a soul, even though I classed myself as spiritual. I knew that there was this spiritual energy in me, but I didn't know how to align my body, mind, and soul to actually co-create with this energy that is all around us. That's what we talk about when we're saying manifesting. Manifesting is simply to make something real. It's to bring it into form. And we're doing this all the time. So even take the big buzzwords, the manifestation out of that. And just say, if you want to create whatever it is that you want to create, then look at the things that you're desiring and ask yourself, have you been actually taking the actions, or have you been playing small? Have you been setting small goals? Do you set goals? Do you have any ideas? Have you been allowing other people to snuff out your goals and your dreams before you've even started because you decided to share them with somebody? Have you not allowed yourself to expand your thought? Have you not grabbed a pen and paper before and written down your goal? Or have you grabbed it and then says, nah, that goal's for somebody else, not for me? I please invite you today to get curious, to stop overthinking, to go into your heart. And I want you to think, if all things are possible, if everything in this world is already created and it's just about matching another energetic match, what if this was true? What if this was a truth for you? And you were able to co-create by simply understanding the mechanics of your body, the mechanics of your mind, and how they actually operate with your soul. Because your soul is here to experience, but it needs the mechanism, the mechanic of your physical body to take the action. And it needs your mind to drop down and download these ideas to actually ingrain them so that you can then take the actual action to get the results that you want. So the consequences of not being you, of not paying attention, of not listening to your soul, is that you continue in Groundhog Day, that you maybe stay in your current comfort zone. And for some people, that is enough. And that is 100% if that is you. Again, there's no judgment. It's remaining neutral. If you're calling for more, if you're seeking more, I have clients coming on all the time, people ringing and jumping on a call and saying, you know what, I feel like I'm made for so much more and it's so frustrating and I feel stuck and I just don't know what the right next step is. It is stepping into your greatness. It is understanding how you operate. This was the biggest transformational shift for me, was actually stepping into embodying who I am in truth, my infinite possibilities. And these might seem like far-fetched words. You might be going, Donna, what does that even mean? When I say stepping into your truth, I mean that, have you ever had a scenario when you know, not logically, but in your heart of hearts, you know something is true? Like if you know you need to end a relationship and you know, and even though it's really hard, you do it anyway because you know it's the right thing to do. or if you leave a job, or if you close a business, or if you move to a different country. Logically or on paper, it might not make sense, but in your heart of hearts, in your absolute truth, your heart, you've no rationale, no logic, no reason. But in your absolute soul, in your heart, that's where your soul speaks to you from love to say, can you please pay attention? You're asking for this stuff and I want to give it to you. You're asking for this life, for this experience, and I'm here to give it to you. But you have to listen. You have to pay attention to you, because the consequences of not paying attention to you means that you're paying attention to someone else, to something else. You're allowing that to decide your next result. You're allowing that to decide and dictate how you think, how you feel, how you act, and again, go round and circle what the results that you get. So this is such a powerful one. Listen to it over and over and over and over again. If you want to have a conversation, jump on a call, send me a message. Let's have a conversation about this. Oh my God. If you knew how incredibly powerful you were, a lot of the rubbish that you've been telling yourself will just simply fall away. You will have to do work as well. You will have to do work. But again, it's up to you to decide, is it worth, what's the consequences of not choosing to do the work on you and staying where you are, continuing in the same circuit, same results? Are you okay with those consequences? That's a question I'll leave you with. And as always, remember, your greatest asset is your ability to be yourself. All of our greatest asset is in our ability to be yourself. So who will you choose to be today? Because you have that power. No one else. It's up to you. Thank you for tuning in. My name's Donna Martin, and I will see you in the next episode.